Right now, without thinking about it, you are running dozens of programs. The way you make your coffee, the route you take to work, the first thing you do when you sit at your desk, the way you react when someone criticizes you. You didn't consciously choose most of these behaviors today. Your brain chose them for you, because at some point, you did them enough times that they became automatic. This is the habit loop, and once you understand how it works, you can never unsee it. In the early 1990s, researchers at MIT made a discovery that changed how we understand human behavior. They were studying rats navigating a maze to reach a piece of chocolate. At first, the rats moved slowly, sniffing everything, making wrong turns. Their brains showed high activity throughout. They were processing everything consciously. But after dozens of repetitions, something changed. The rats moved faster. They stopped exploring. They ran the maze almost perfectly. And their brain activity dropped dramatically. Except in one area, a small, ancient structure deep in the brain called the basal ganglia. The conscious brain had handed the task over to the automatic brain. The maze was now a habit. This is what happens with every habit you build. The brain is always looking for ways to save effort. When you repeat a behavior consistently, it gets chunked, compressed into an automatic routine that requires almost no conscious thought. This frees up your prefrontal cortex for new problems. It's an extraordinary feature of human cognition. The problem is that the brain does this indiscriminately. It will automate good behaviors and bad ones with exactly the same efficiency. The habit loop has three parts: the cue, the routine, the reward. The cue is the trigger that initiates the behavior. It can be a time, a place, an emotion, another person, or a preceding action. The smell of coffee is a cue. Sitting down at your desk is a cue. Feeling bored is a cue. Stress is one of the most powerful cues there is. The routine is the behavior itself. What you do in response to the cue. This is the part most people focus on when they try to change habits. But it's actually the least powerful lever. The reward is what your brain gets at the end. The relief, the pleasure, the stimulation. The reward is what trains the brain to remember the loop and repeat it. Without a reward, the loop doesn't stick. Here's why this is so useful. Most attempts to build new habits fail because people focus entirely on the routine and ignore the other two parts. They decide they want to exercise every morning and just try to do it through willpower. No cue, no designed reward, just effort and hope. That works for about a week. To build a habit that actually sticks, you need to design all three parts deliberately. Choose a clear, consistent cue, something that already happens reliably in your day. Attach your new behavior to it, and give yourself a genuine reward immediately after, something your brain will actually anticipate. The reward doesn't have to be big. It just has to be real, and it has to come right after the behavior. A moment of satisfaction, a small treat, tracking the streak, anything that makes your brain associate the routine with something good. And to break a bad habit, you don't eliminate the loop. The research shows that's nearly impossible. The cue and the reward are deeply wired. What you can change is the routine. Keep the same cue. Keep the same reward. Just insert a different behavior in the middle. Stressed and reaching for junk food? The cue is stress. The reward is relief. Find a different routine that delivers similar relief. A short walk, 5 minutes of breathing, a glass of water, and slot it in between. The loop doesn't care what the routine is. It just runs the pattern. Understanding this changes how you approach change entirely. You stop fighting yourself and start engineering yourself. You design cues. You build rewards. You work with the architecture of your brain instead of against it. 40% of your day is already automated. The only question is, who designed those programs? Time to get in the driver's seat. See you next week.